Gender expression is the way in which a person expresses a gender identity, typically through the way they dress and behave. Factors such as parents, community, and geographical location are big factors that shape someone's gender expression, as well as someone's ability to pass. So you may be wondering, what exactly does it mean to pass? Let me show you. So, passing is when a man or woman wishes to be viewed as the opposite sex. This term was originally coined by slaves passing as white men in order to escape slavery. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have stealth, which is when someone wishes to keep their life private or they do not share their trans identity with the public. Passing methods and frequency of participation can depend on a multitude of factors. As Baker Rogers says, and contrary to all the shit I've said, some people choose to pass based on a situation or location, while those who are stealth likely never disclose their trans identities to the public. According to research, the South has always been behind socially and politically with accepting queer people amongst the community. As Rogers states, Nash finds that for trans men to be recognized as men, they must adhere to stereotypical displays of masculinity in the form of more masculine clothes, hairstyles, voice, and how they carry themselves. So this coins into the term hegemonic masculinity, which is a practice that feeds into men's dominant position in society and undermines women or people that aren't originally born male. So because of this, trans men often feel that in order to pass in the South, they must try to make themselves seem more dominant. By transitioning into a man without outwardly sharing their birth-assigned sex, trans men gain access and reprieve to being a male by acting like a male, such as being heterosexual and other classifications. It's hard to keep these rights and reprieve in the South because if one rule or code of being masculine is violated, trans men are ostracized. Queer communities in the South are often commonly seen in rural areas due to having to share their identities and gain acceptance from fewer people. But there is also the factor that in large cities, trans men put themselves at risk of violence because of their identity, because they are more likely to be jumped or attacked due to their position in society where they may not be as welcomely accepted in the South. So when passing correctly, which just means that all the masculine points created by society are being met, trans men in the South can enjoy privileges such as firmer handshakes and being taken more seriously. The South can take a hard toll on Americans' day-to-day lives outside of just feeling isolated. Job opportunities can be sparse for trans people due to prejudice, and because of this, it's hard to pay for rent. The main solution is to either pass well enough in the South that most people don't notice a difference, or move somewhere else, which is a sad truth. Austin Johnson and Baker Rogers say, and we're the normal ones here, that state legislators continue to promote and pass bills aimed at denying trans people access to medical care and public facilities, limiting workspace professions, and access to accurate identity documentation. Those who live in the South, while trying to pass, have a different gender navigation on how they express themselves through avoiding violence and prejudice. So it's a much different setting in the North, where everyone is typically more accepting, because as stated previously, the South is generally behind socially and politically with accepting the queer community.